Hi Gemini, thank you for joining me. This is your horoscope for November 2016. It's really nice to be with you. Now, I have had a look at what the most significant astrological influences are in November, and I'm going to give you an understanding of how they're going to affect you specifically as Sun sign Gemini. Now, up until the 9th of November, you've got your personal planet, Mars, the planet that's really responsible for what you're focused on and what you want to achieve and what your desires are and what you won't compromise on. That has been in Capricorn in your 8th house. So you may have been somewhat unaware of what's going on in your life. You may have been focusing on what you can do for other people, and you may be taking instructions and really putting in the effort for someone else. On the 9th, when Mars goes into Aquarius, you start to become more conscious and you start to think, well, what am I doing and how is that actually going to impact other people? What am I doing? What am I contributing to the world? And it's that moment when the focus shifts and you suddenly have this eureka aha moment. I don't know if you've ever had that, but I've had them. For instance, I remember the most significant one when I was driving and I was just driving along, and suddenly I was outside of my body looking down on my car and seeing myself as a human being driving on a motorway somewhere doing something. And it completely shifted my focus, and it was like, this is the town you've chosen to live in. All those little details fell away, and it showed me that I was where I was as a result of my personal choices. So with that shift, that is going to really give you the opportunity to see what it is you've been doing, who you've been working for, and what you could be doing instead, and how you could be improving your own life, and how you could be making a contribution to the lives of other people. So that's great for people who are on a journey, who are trying to better themselves. If you're someone in denial and who is unwilling to face the truth, then one, you're probably not going to be watching these kind of videos because you don't care. You're probably off smoking a bong somewhere. The people who are able to face the truth, you're going to find this empowering. It's not scary. It's not, oh my God, I'm seeing things. It's like my vision becomes clearer and sharper. It's a positive thing. The people who are in denial, they will feel that is very uncomfortable. And they'll be like, oh my God, how do I shut this off? Venus has been in Sagittarius in your 11th here for the beginning of the month, and that has really been very good for your relationships and looking at where your relationships can lead to and how you can do things with other people. It's been very optimistic and very positive. So the beginning of the month here for you, Gemini, is very good for having fun, relationships, doing things that are not particularly meaningful but silly and fun, and just enjoying the company of others. On the 12th, Venus, the personal planet of love and beauty, think of her as the goddess Aphrodite. She becomes very serious going into the earth sign Capricorn in your 8th house. So this is problematic for you because now the big perspective starts to close down again, and what you do is you love to be of service to other people and you want to be there for other people, and it's almost like your awareness of the greater meaning of what you're doing shuts off. So it's almost like you become an automaton in terms of, I like to routinely do things. It's like taking pleasure in making the bed, or getting someone their coffee in the morning. It's that kind of vibe where you're just doing something that really is a very mundane, banal, practical aspect of life, and you lose that philosophical edge. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that, but you become very comfortable in your day-to-day experience. So if you're trying to ask the big questions, if you're trying to discover the meaning of life, okay, that 3-day period between the 9th and the 12th is going to be much easier for you to get info than from the 12th onwards. Mercury has been in Scorpio, so you've been very much in tune with your feelings, and I think there's been a sense of emotional availability. Now on the 13th of November, things lighten up again. So we've got this ongoing process of really being outward looking than being focused on the day-to-day while also having fun with other people. The 13th of November, that ability to be around other people, to make plans for the future, to enjoy yourself, to communicate in a fun, positive, practical level, that really becomes heightened. And it is a month of deciding between the bigger picture or mundane, banal work, but at the same time, enjoying the company of other people, talking things over with other people, and that is the constant in this month. Okay, so whether you're being a philosopher or just getting coffees, make that the constant, because you have a wonderful way of building community around you and feeling content by being around other people. So it's a great time to build a friendship, to deepen a relationship, to let time pass and let a relationship grow naturally. So if there is someone in your life who you don't know that well and you want to make them more of a constant in your life, then deliberately devote or choose that person as a target and say, okay, November is when we're going to spend time and make things happen, because you'll have the ability to do that. Now, on the 14th, the full moon happened, and that's in Taurus in your 12th house. Now, the full moon is when the moon is completely bright and illuminated and it showers us with its energy, and you're going to feel this Taurian energy as an almost luxurious, heavy, kind of comforting blanket of feeling loved and nurtured by the universe. It's almost like God is tucking you into your bed and saying, everything's okay, you're safe, your money worries are going to be okay, you don't need to worry about anything, you're loved, you're protected, you're taken care of, you're safe. And that's a feeling, that doesn't have anything to do with reality, that you'll feel that whether you're working this terrible job and you're making minimum wage and you're exhausted all the time, and you'll also feel that if you're eating bonbons in your mansion. It's a sense of feeling content. And in my experience, Gemini, it is the best time to make plans for the future when you have this sense of contentment and love, because you create plans and you implement things that have love and contentment within them, creating more of the same. So look at this as a time of, I can deflate, I can just kind of take a breath and a moment to feel safe in my life, and I can look at what I'm doing from a very unpressured level or an unpressured place. I can look at the long term without feeling like, oh my God, I've got to get it done by Monday. And that's good because you're able to really implement things which will make you feel more contented. Now, the big news or the big event of November is that Neptune goes direct on the 19th or 20th of November, depending on where you are in the world. And it's woken up from its 5-month slumber, and it stays direct in Pisces in your 10th house of career. Now, Neptune is the dream planet, what can be achieved, what can be done. It is very happily placed in Pisces because it rules Pisces. So it's really being able to intuitively just sense things, and that's kind of a theme here. You come to this inner place of contentment and just almost being clairsentient for the month and just feeling things, and that in your 10th house gives you a sense of what you're doing in your working life. I think your contentment opens up a window into saying, well, this is something that you could be doing in future that would be more rewarding and that you would also be contented doing. So it's almost like being able to look into another dimension of similar positive vibes and being able to get there. Now, you may ask the question, well, if I'm so content and happy anyway, then why should I change anything? Because, and this is the answer, this full moon in Taurus and this loving, kind, blankety energy isn't going to be with you all the time. So use this kind of moment in history of your life, in the history of your life, to say, okay, this is contentment and this is really how I could make it more of a fixture. Do you see what I mean? Because you get that glimpse just because you're in such a good space. If you were stressed and freaking out, you wouldn't be able to see the future in that sense. Now, on the 21st, the sun goes into Sagittarius in your 7th house. Relationships have been great all month. They will get even better now. It's a great time to go on fun little trips, to plan girls' trips, I don't know, lads' weekends or whatever they're called. I wouldn't know much about those. But to spend time having fun with other people and to be silly and to enjoy yourself again while you're doing all this questioning on the side. The big strength and constant is the positivity you have here with other people. And then finally, at the end of the month, we've got the new moon happening in Sagittarius, also in the 7th. The new moon is about pulling extra information in, and that's like, okay, on the 21st, you're having wonderful time with people. By the end of the month, it'll be a scream. It'll be so fun. You'll absolutely love being around people, and I think this is one of the best months of the year for you in terms of just having fun and enjoying the company of others. So please open yourself up to that. Now, if you would like me to have a look at your personal chart and what's coming up for you in your love life or in your finances or what your soul purpose is or what your life purpose is in terms of work, then please get in touch with me for a private reading. The website is gregoryscott.com. Just click on the readings tab and you can audio reading with me there. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. I'll be here with you for the daily tarot readings, the weekly horoscopes, the special astrology videos such as new moons and retrogrades and eclipses. And of course, I'll be with you next month for these monthly horoscopes. Have a great November, and I'll speak to you soon.